from Rush County now faces charges after her son died in a house fire last month. It happened in the town of Arlington and it killed 7-year-old David Bowers Jr. The Rush County Sheriff says Kirsten Bowers told them she fell asleep in bed with a cigarette, woke up to the fire, and tried to get the kids out. Investigators, though, say a timeline which includes surveillance video tells a different story, showing Bowers left the house and had walked several blocks away during the suspected time of the fire, leaving the 4 kids unattended. She now faces neglect charges.
Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again to y'all with another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely magnificent. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family. And much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Indiana by way of Arlington. And big shout out to everybody in the great state of Indiana and everybody outside the great city of Arlington. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. And also, before I start this story, I want to send a special condolences out to the family and friends, and more importantly, to the dad of 7-year-old David Bowers Jr. Because, sir, I know you are hurting right now, especially after learning the truth. And you all, the truth is very hard to swallow, as in the case of this story right here, where we have 31-year-old Kirsten Bowers, who was recently arrested Monday for some serious charges. And those charges are 4 counts of felony neglect of a dependent. Now, this story is very strange and troubling, but at the same time, everything is not always what it seems. As you all know, on the Trey King Show, we do all kinds of stories and all kinds of videos. And true enough, some of these people be telling the truth, some of the victims, and also some of these people be lying trying to cover their own tracks. Now I want to ask you all one question before we dig deep into the story. What would you do if you happen to wake up inside your home and you are at home alone with your children and the house is on fire? What would you do? Would you not try to save your children and risk your life? Or would you abandon your children and leave them to die and hopefully they'll get out by their own merit? And the reason why I asked you all that as I lay the story out, you're going to find out that this mom, Kirsten Bowers, did not do a damn thing to save her children. And it sounds like that maybe she played a huge part in this fire being started. Now I want to ask you all one question. Have you ever heard of anybody or know anybody, or you yourself, have you ever smoked a cigarette or smoked anything and you woke up and something was on fire? Now, true enough, mistakes happen. Now, I had that happen to me one time, but it wasn't no damn cigarette. It was some of that, that good green. But anyway, so we already know that things will happen. We know that sometimes people do fall asleep with cigarettes in their hand and also blunts at the same time. So let's just be for real. But if you happen to wake up and the house is on fire, would you not try to save your children? And also, if you are in a fire, would you not smell like soot or smoke? Because as this story is going to show you, Kirsten Bowers did not have any soot on her, nor did she have any smoke. And you got to ask your question, how the hell did that happen? Now, I recently just did a video last week out of Chicago, Illinois, where we had a mom who was pregnant, who risked her life, and also the baby that she was carrying, trying to go inside of a burning building. Now, on one hand, we have a mom in Chicago risking her life, running inside a burning building to save her child. And the mom made it out safely, but the mom turned around and ran back inside the building. Now, on the other hand, in Indiana, we have a mom who's casually walking up the road while the house is on fire. Never made no attempt to go inside this home and get her child. Now, the story out of Chicago, Illinois is very sad. And also, if you haven't seen that video yet that I did last week, please go check it out. But here's a little snippet from it.
Says Destiny Henry died running back into the building trying to save her 5-year-old son. He survived but remains in the hospital with a head injury and burns to his face and body.
And now, as you all heard the reporter state, Destiny Henry ran back inside this burning building after already making it out the burning building to save her child's life. And I'm sure any parent that loved their child, male or female, they would do that. So why didn't Kirsten Bowers do that? But Kirsten Bowers did everything but the right thing. And the right thing to do was trying to risk your life to save your child, if you consider yourself a good parent. But anyway, let's begin.
Rush County mother is facing charges tonight after police say she left her 7-year-old son to die in a burning house. 31-year-old Kirsten Bowers faces 4 counts of neglect of a dependent. Her son, David Bowers Jr., died in the house fire last month. His mother told police she fell asleep in bed with a lit cigarette and woke up to her bed on fire.
And now, family, as you all heard the news reporter state, Kirsten Bowers told the police that she fell asleep with a lit cigarette in her hand, and she woke up and the house was engulfed in flames. Now, on one hand, you can believe that because, like I stated a few minutes earlier, things happen in life. But at the same time, just like people tell the truth, people will also lie. But upon doing further investigation, the police found out this whole story that Kirsten made up was very suspicious, because you got to ask yourself, if you woke up and the house was engulfed in flames and you had one child to die, but 3 was able to make it out, why wasn't you smelling like smoke? And also, why didn't you catch on fire? Now, let me ask you all this before we go any further. If you have a cigarette in your hand and you happen to fall asleep and said cigarette falls on your bed and starts a fire, who's going to catch on fire first? What area of the house is going to catch on fire first? The area where you at. So how are you able to wake up, go outside with no smoke or soot on you, but at the same time, the rest of the house is burning up? That sounds like what we call down south a hot ass lie. Anyway, let's continue.
She's told investigators she tried to get her 4 kids out one by one, but couldn't rescue Bowers Jr.
And now here's where the story get real crazy at. As you all heard the reporter state, Kirsten Bowers had the nerve, the gall, to tell the police that she was able to make it out, and she also saved 3 of her children. But guess what, though, family? That was a lie, like they say on Maury Povich. Now, neighbors and also witnesses that's seen this whole incident unfold, and also surveillance camera has Kirsten Bowers blocks away from the home. So, ma'am, how could you have saved the children if the cameras and the witnesses that seen this fire take place says otherwise? And now what really happened is this right here. Kirsten Bowers was blocks away from the home, and the witnesses, along with the surveillance cameras, because one thing about it, cameras don't lie. We know people lie, children lie, but the cameras don't lie. Now, witnesses and also the surveillance cameras has the children saving themselves. That's a damn shame right there. Tell me, what kind of parent does that? Now, here we have a mom blocks away from her home, and just like everybody else on this road seeing this house on fire, the mom seen it too. So, Kirsten, you had the nerve to want to tell the police that you was able to make it out with your 3 children, but you could not save the 4th child, which happened to be 7-year-old David Bowers Jr. But at the same time, the reason why she said she couldn't save 7-year-old David Bowers Jr. was because it was too much smoke inside of the home, which is the key word once again. But ma'am, hitting back on that same point, if it was so much smoke inside the home, which that's natural in any fire, why do you have any smoke on you? And also, why do you not have any soot on you? And also, as the police stated, as you all see below, why didn't you not smell like smoke? Tell me this, family. What person be involved in a house fire, inside of a house fire, and they do not smell like any smoke, come out with nothing on them? Please explain that to me. Let's continue.
Detectives say surveillance video and witness statements show that Kirsten actually walked several blocks away during the fire, forcing 3 of her children to save themselves.
And now here's where the story get real crazy at. While this house was on fire, Kirsten Bowers called 911, but it said that she allegedly hung up the phone immediately. But guess what, though? Even though you hang up the phone, if 911 is dialed on your phone, guess what? As soon as you hear that first ring, they already have your number. So you don't have to wait for them to answer the phone to track your number, nor do you have to sit there and wait for the phone to ring 10, 12 times. Because guess what? Anybody ever dialed 911 or dialed 911 by mistake, guess what? They already have your number, and they will call back. But the story says that Kirsten Bowers, after she first dialed 911, she dialed 911 again 15 minutes later and told the police that it was a house on fire. So let's think about this before we close up. Now, she said that she woke up after having a lit cigarette in her hand and the house was on fire, but she was able to save 3 children. Now, if that is true, why did you not try to save the 4th one? And also, why would you dial 911, hang up the phone, and dial it again 15 minutes later, and then report there is a fire at your home? Which one is it? So it goes to show you that she was lying. And the reason why it took so long for the police to arrest Kirsten Bowers was because they was doing their thorough investigation, as all law enforcement should do. But also added to that point, while the police was at Kirsten Bowers' residence, the police was talking to the witnesses as they normally do. She had the nerve to want to tell the police, don't believe what the witnesses are saying about her being blocks away from the home. Now, What person in law enforcement and also regular people as me and you, who would not find that suspicious? Let's close up.
Kirsten Bowers is now in the Shelby County Jail on unrelated charges.
So now in closing, and to all my people in Indiana and also everybody that's viewing this video, what kind of punishment do you think Kirsten Bowers would receive? And also, what kind of punishment do you think this woman deserved? Because clearly, she is not a mama. But what's really so strange about this whole incident also is the fact that after a week after this fire had taken place, Kirsten Bowers has searched on the internet how much time do you get for a manslaughter charge in Indiana, and also how much time you give for voluntary manslaughter. And she also searched how much time you get for reckless homicide in Indiana. And then she went so far as to search how much time does a manslaughter sentence carry in Indiana that involves a child. Now ask yourself this, family. What kind of mom who fell asleep with a cigarette in her hand and she woke up and the house was engulfed in flames? What kind of mom sit there and lied to the police? And also, what kind of mom a week later after a fire had taken place in her residence and her child had died, what kind of mom search on the internet how much time does a manslaughter of a child carry in Indiana? Now ask yourself, is this person innocent or is this person guilty? Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. If there's anything I may have missed or misinformed, which is not my true intent, please let me know in the comments section, or you can email me. We can talk about it more there. If you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. And also share the video with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed. And I will see y'all soon on next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.